Hello and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for September the 16th through September the 22nd. And we have a very interesting celestial sky with 3 significant events, and I'll get into that later on the astrology section of your reading. Thank you guys. I had so many new subscribers last week. I'm so excited. Thank you. I really appreciate you all. If you're returning, thank you for your loyalty and your support. I really appreciate that. And if you're new, I hope you enjoy these readings and you'll come back. Now, these are general readings for the collective, guys. So, take what resonates and leave the rest. And don't forget, these are for your sun, moon, and rising. So check out the other videos because maybe your rising sign might make more sense to you. If you would like a more personal, tailored reading, click on this link or go to the Show More section below in the description box. If you're looking at this on a phone, it's a little arrow pointing downwards. If you press that, you can see all the information. All the links to the other videos will be below. The links to my Facebook group will be below. You should join that. Every 2 weeks I do a live feed in Facebook, and we look, it's fun, we look at how the it's either the new moon or the full moon is affecting you personally. Which area of your chart does it affect you? So join my Facebook group. The link is below. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And please don't forget to like, comment. I answer every comment. And subscribe if you haven't already. And share. My short-term goal is get to 10K subscribers. That would be amazing. So, I want to quickly say these readings come in 3 sections. The intro, which is this part, the astrological report, which is next, and then the tarot report, the tarot reading, sorry. And there are skip times to each section so that you can, if you're checking out some moon rising, you can go straight to the video if you want, so you don't have to watch the astrological or the intro again. And another way, guys, to support this channel is through Patreon. I want to thank my patrons. Thank you so much. The link to that will be below. And without further ado, let's go to the astrology section, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology section of your reading, and we have 3 significant events happening this week, and we have some minor events that I'm not going to go into, but the big news is that Saturn stations direct. It has been retrograde since April, so we are going to feel a shift forward. We're going to be able to see our path forward and a practical way of getting there. Now, Saturn is the Lord of time. He rules time. So we need to bring in patience because things that our goals take time. To get to where we want to go takes time and effort. So we need to allow that time and honor that time to get there. We have had time to prepare things in Virgo, and now it's time for us to propel forward. Now, Saturn is also the planet of lessons. So we need to remember, we need to look at what we've done in the past and learn from it, not repeat mistakes. We will, Saturn a lot of people freak out about Saturn and say, oh no, Saturn. But Saturn actually steers us in the right direction. So what we sometimes consider blocks and things that are stopping us from going forward, this is Saturn saying, no, don't go there. Turn around and go in this direction. It's going to serve you better. So it's about slowing down, right? But it's also about putting the effort and the work into it, because we can't get to where we're going without hard work. And Saturn is about, getting your elbow grease in there, rolling up your sleeves and doing the work to get to where you want to go. And it's in Capricorn, in its home sign of Capricorn. So this is the earth sign. It's manifesting, right? It's going to help us. It's going to put rules and structure in place so that we can get to our goals. This is about limiting, it's about economizing, if you will. So we really have to look and kind of trim the fat. What is not working for us? This, Saturn's about purging, getting rid of what's not working for us anymore, having the courage to let that go. When we let that go, we will go forward faster. Maybe not as fast as we want to. So we really do have to practice patience during this time and honor the sense of time. So this really is about putting effort into it. But this wonderful grounding energy and this direction of going forward is going to, and I also want to mention that Pluto, which has been traveling along with Saturn through the sign of Capricorn, is also slowing down and getting ready to go direct, which will happen at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. That's a whole other story, so I'll go into that later. But we're feeling the effects of that change, transformation, and Saturn is, organizing things for us to go forward and to reach our goals. And we'll be able to see where we're going. Finally, we can see ahead and in practical terms. But we have to put the work in, as I said before. Now, that happens on Wednesday the 18th. Excuse me. And on the, let me just look, on the 21st, we have Jupiter in a challenging aspect, what we call a square in astrology, to Neptune. Now, Jupiter is the planet of abundance, more, expansion, spirituality, adventure. And I'm just looking here at the chart. And Neptune is dreamy, it's visionary, it is spiritual, it is a connection with the ethereal realm and creative, right? So this contentious aspect between the two, between Jupiter and Neptune, well, on the negative side of each planet, right? Jupiter can be addiction. It can be bigger, better, more of something that doesn't work for us. It can be overindulgence, overdoing lots of things. And Neptune is the planet of illusion, right? And on the negative side, delusion, also addiction, and not seeing things in the light, overdoing something, being overly optimistic. Jupiter is optimism too. It's being very optimistic. So Neptune can accentuate that and not see things in realistic terms. Now, going back to Saturn, Saturn's very realistic, so it could help with balancing that out. But we really need to remember that in our psyche. We need to remember that we can go off on tangents. We can be distracted by Neptune. Neptune can be a distraction. I can sit here and I'm planning my day, and before I know it, it's 2 hours later and I haven't got up and done anything because I've been in my head, on this dream with Neptune. So sometimes when this happens, I put alarms on my phone. I have to do this, and I give myself a 2-hour notice of what I have to do. And then when the alarm goes off, I have to go, oh gosh, yeah, I've got to get up and do that. So sometimes we have to do that to bring us back in. But if we have that awareness in our psyche that we can be distracted and we can go off, and we have to kind of ask our question, ask a question of ourselves. Okay, is this realistic? Because we have unrealistic expectations sometimes with Neptune, and especially with Neptune and Jupiter in this contentious kind of relationship. So it's something to be aware of. But on the other hand, you can really tap into creativity. You can, if you're a writer, if you're in the visual arts, whatever it is, or just to be creative, it's amazing for, optimistic, visionary goals to make those, and to do, write a novel, something fantastical and mystical. So it's really brilliant to tap into that energy, that source of energy while this is happening. Now, the next thing that is happening is, really it's not this week because this reading goes to the 22nd, but I'd be remiss not to mention that on Monday, the 23rd, the sun moves into Libra. It is the autumn equinox. So this is a huge shift in energy, and the sun is joining Mercury and Venus in Libra. So this, I'll talk about that next week, but I wanted you to know that. So also, happy birthday, Libra. Happy birthday. So we will discuss and talk about what's going on with that next week, because there are some other things going on. So yes, I want to also mention, where is it? I want to also mention at the same time, which I didn't mention as we were talking about it, at the same time that Saturn moves direct, it is in this beautiful trine with the moon in Taurus. Now, the moon in Taurus is in exaltation. It's it's expressing itself how it needs to express itself. It is creating security and helping Saturn. Saturn will help you see your way forward for security. It is a beautiful alignment between the moon and Saturn, so you can actually plan out and see what you need and what you want. And what will make you feel secure. And it's also a very nurturing energy. So it's really interesting that we have, I also want to mention before we go any further, that the Jupiter squaring Neptune can also bring in some fear of the future. And it can be unrealistic. It feels very real. So you can feel some anxiety. It's really important to meditate during this time. And also, and to remember that things aren't necessarily realistic. So it is about taking care of responsibilities, because Saturn's going to make sure that you take care of your responsibilities. It's going to be in our faces. We will need to take care of things that we've perhaps been putting on the back burner. But also is things that we need to take care of. So Saturn is showing us the way forward. And sometimes, especially with the Neptune and Jupiter connection, we will feel a little fearful and perhaps apprehensive about those responsibilities. But if we just get down and just do a little bit at a time and just take care of them, things will come out of this on top. Having taken care of our responsibilities, having lived up to our responsibilities. And that's us showing up for our lives. Okay, everyone. I wish you a wonderful, abundant week. And without further ado, let's go to your tarot card reading, shall we? Hello, Leo. Lovely Leo. Leo, my love, what a beautiful Leo you are. A lion. You are. Okay, this is for your tarot card section reading for September the 16th through September the 22nd. And what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information do we have for Leo? What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information do we have for Leo for this coming week? 3 cards for Leo, please. 2 more cards. Oh, okay, 1 more card. Oh, they are flying out like crazy, Leo. 1 more card for Leo, please. There. Oh, 2 more cards. Okay, 1, 2. And of course, Leo has more cards. It's all about you, Leo. Oh, Ooh, I nearly put that one back. Love that. Okay. These are clarifying cards for Leo. I've already shuffled them off screen. I'm going to do it one more time for you. Lovely. Okay. What wonderful blessings, guidance, and helpful information can you give Leo through these clarifying cards? Please clarify. Oh, they're not so forthcoming, the clarifying cards. Oh, wow. One went to come out and went, there it is. Waiting for the right one. Please clarify. Oh, there we go. Very interesting. And there are two cards here to clarify. There it is. Lovely. Okay, let's look at your cards, Leo. The first card out for you is the Ace of Wands, clarified by the Four of Swords. And then you have the King of Cups, clarified by the Emperor, King of Kings. And then you have the Three of Pentacles right next to the Wheel of Fortune. You know, I'm going to be singing that song. And then clarifying that is the Nine of Swords. Leo. The first card out is this wonderful Ace of Wands. This is a brand new opportunity, a really passionate opportunity, something that will feed your soul, that will, it's like a spark that starts a flame, that starts a huge blazing fire. It's really got amazing potential, whatever this is, this opportunity that's coming in for you. Look for the opportunities, because if you're not looking, you don't see them. You have to look for them, and then you'll start seeing them everywhere. But there's a gem here. Now, clarifying it is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords comes in when there's exhaustion. So you have to be very careful about not overdoing it. And that's, of course, Jupiter, right? Coming in, Jupiter and Neptune is about overindulging, overdoing things. And this is complete exhaustion. So when the Four of Swords comes in, it's saying you need to sleep enough. Sleep, rest, meditate, sleep. This is just fundamental things to take care of yourself, because you're not going to see the opportunities or be able to take advantage of them if you don't have the energy. So this is like you probably will feel completely exhausted, and maybe you're not sleeping well enough. Go to bed earlier. I need to hear that for myself. But go to bed earlier and get a good night's rest. The next card out is the King of Cups. What's interesting about this particular King of Cups from this card deck is that he has Saturn over his head. How apropos, right? We have this emotional energy of Neptune. It's very sensitive and emotional. And we also, as Saturn is stationing direct, we have that wonderful connection with the moon, which is emotional, right? So when Saturn is above his head, he is this, okay, so he is this, he has a deep well of emotions within him, which he suppresses. Because he believes that he must remain stoic in order to be a good leader. People won't take him seriously if they, see how emotional he is and how sensitive he is. So he stuffs those feelings in. When I first picked this card up, I got that we really have to kind of temper our emotions during this time. Leo, I say we, I am a Leo rising. It's about tempering our emotions. It's about self-control. And that's what Saturn's all about, self-control and self-discipline. So it's about disciplining ourselves. It's not about, gushing and, being completely emotional and perhaps irrational and unrealistic. So this is about self-control. You're being asked to exercise self-control and self-discipline during this time. And clarifying the King of Water Cups is the Emperor, the King of Kings. The Emperor is about being logical. He's got a very logical mind. He's about getting rid of things that no longer work for you, and that's exactly what Saturn's about. It's about purging, right? It's about getting rid of what's not working for you anymore. It's organizing. It's taking care of your responsibilities. And that is what Saturn is all about. Responsibilities are going to come up. You've got to take care of them. It's really important not to put anything on the back burner because it will come out in a big way. So take care of whatever comes out. Make sure you cross your T's, you dot your I's, everything is structured and in place. Then the next card out for you is the something just came to me right now with the Emperor. The Emperor is number 4. And 4 is a foundation. And Saturn is going direct at 13 degrees of Capricorn. So it's 1 and 3 is 4. It's significant. It's this Saturn going direct is very significant for you. Well, for all of us anyway, but particularly for you. And you have the 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles is about growth, expansion, right? 3 represents Jupiter. This is about being really creative, and this actually being creative is really kind of going to help you this week, putting all your effort into creativity, creating something wonderful. It's an amazing way to channel this energy that's coming in from Jupiter and Neptune. This is about honing in on your craft. This is the master becoming the master teacher. Just putting the time, effort, and energy into your craft, into what you do, into your profession, into your life purpose, whatever that is for you. And right next to that is the Wheel of Fortune. This is where your fortune is, darling. It's turning in your direction. I'm gonna make you love me. Oh, yes, I will. You know I will. Don't get me started. That's my Wheel of Fortune song. I'm going to lose all my viewers. So the Wheel of Fortune is finally turning in your direction. And how it is going to pay off for you is through creative endeavors. If you're a writer, if you're in the visual arts, if you're painting, if you're drawing, if you're writing a novel, whatever it is, be in creativity, creating brilliant ideas, writing them down, whatever it is, channel it. Now, clarifying these 2 cards is the 9 of Swords, which is very interesting because the 9 of Swords is all about being in your head and thinking about the worst case scenario. You have a very positive reading, and yet you could be up in your head going over and over and over the worst case scenario, what can go wrong. Think of what can go right. Don't focus on what can go wrong, because with Neptune at play, you can go down that rabbit hole and you may not come up. So as you're peering down the rabbit hole, pull yourself back and reach for a better feeling thought. Because this is just sleepless nights, and it's silly. It's like, it's like the hamster on the wheel going round and round and round and thinking anything that's negative and really going down with that angst and that fear. And we'll all get moments of this, it's hard not to with this aspect that's coming up this week. But self-discipline, self-control, reach for a better feeling thought, as Esther and Jerry Hicks say about the law of attraction. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, we all peer over every now and again. That's okay, but don't tip over. Pull yourself back. Be aware of what's going on, and ask yourself, oh wait, that's not realistic. And you know what? I always say that Charlotte O'Hara in Gone with the Wind, oh, I'll worry about that tomorrow. And that's my really bad American accent. I'll worry about that tomorrow. You know, that's the story. That's my motto. That's the story of my life. It's how I get through life. I'll worry about that tomorrow. You know, I can't do anything. Listen, worry has never solved a problem, because you're worrying, you're in the problem and you can't get out and you can't see a way out. So you're just, that's worry. You know, contemplating a situation and thinking of a solution is something else. So, don't go down the rabbit hole, Leo. That's all I can say. You have the Wheel of Fortune, darling. Take advantage of that. You will be able to easily pull yourself out if you have that awareness. Leo, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, and social media. Help me grow this to 10K, which is my short-term goal. And comment. I live for comments and feedback, and I always respond. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.